Hey everyone, welcome back to Google Workspace Recap, your number one source for everything Workspace by the tabGeeks Network. My name is Jesse Nolan, my co-host is Steve Larson, and we're here to help you keep up. Trying out a shorter intro today as we continually tweak our formula in an effort to always be improving. What do you think? Let us know. Do you like it better than our old intro? Drop a comment, tell us your thoughts, or say hello on Twitter. Also, special thanks to Jamp for sponsoring this episode, but more on that later. Steve, what'd you think? Shorter intro? You totally didn't even know that was coming. I just threw it in there.
I know. I didn't even look at what you wrote. I don't know. Kind of like the longer one, I think. I'll see. Maybe I'll listen to this one a few times and see what I think. But
yeah, it takes some getting used to.
Yeah.
Well, the research shows that people like it when you jump in.
Well, I know. That's why we never wanted a super long intro.
Yeah.
But I never thought it was long compared to others out there. And I like our intro music too, so that's going to be shortened now.
Well, that's right. It may mess up the intro music. I guess we'll have to see how that fits in.
Yeah. See. We'll see.
I do like our intro music also.
I know. It's good. It's not like a whole minute long like a song, but it's good. Yeah, super quiet week though. In terms of updates, that's for sure.
Tiny episode.
And weather here in Chicago is just like freezing cold. It's a whole new season all of a sudden overnight.
Goes from really?
80 degrees to like 50. Yeah.
Well, we were 80. We're 90 now, going back down over the weekend. And then it's going to be another mega heat wave out here in the Los Angeles, Long Beach area next week, or this coming week. So
bottle some of the heat up and send it over this way, please.
Sure, you got it. It's hot.
Yeah.
Also recording a little bit early today.
It is, yeah. We're also in a little bit more natural light.
Yep.
So.
All natural.
Yeah, we're recording here on a Friday evening, in fact, on the 23rd.
Yeah, less evening for me, afternoon for me. But big Jewish holidays this week, so anybody who works with Jews, remember this is the month from hell. Nothing will get done. We have to fit a month's worth of work into about a week and a half, so bear with us.
Yeah.
It's kind of like New Year's and Christmas for everybody else. Nothing gets done there either. Anyway.
All right. Let's jump into the topics. The few that we have, which is like literally two of them. Introducing new spaces. No, not spaces. Introducing new spacing features on Google Sites. And then we have an updated app script, which with integrated development environment to replace the legacy experience by Q4 2022. I think that's just it's a re-announcement, isn't it, of something that we saw already, wasn't it? Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course, in December 2022.
We talked about this before. They're just updating it.
It did. I remember that now with, who do we have on with Charles Maxon from the developer advocate team. Right? And, what else do we have here? Oh, so, kind of this little gray area, right? Alpha Bundle. Can't talk about it, but can kind of talk about it. So if you are the Alpha Bundle, if you're on the Alpha Bundle, there were two emails that went out yesterday, Thursday, the 22nd of September, and they require opt-in actions for the features that are coming out. So keep an eye out for those. They should be in your inbox already, and you need to take action by the 28th and 29th, two separate features, and you've got to opt in for them. So make sure you do. And again, if you don't have access to the Alpha Bundle, then reach out to us. We'll help you get connected to the Alpha Bundle team and get you in there. I know, Jesse, I think you got to make sure that you're still in there because you may not.
One of my domains,
emails, right?
Both of them, I don't know. I got to check.
Yeah. Okay. And then in other news, Next is coming up. It's right around the corner. It's going to be here before we know it. I think it's 3 weeks away, something like that.
Take. Yep.
Yeah. So as part of that event, the Next session catalog is live, so you can start to go into there and start picking out what do you want to watch and listen to and organize that. I've not yet taken a look at it, but I will be doing that pretty soon. I'm sure others maybe have already had a more closer look. Jesse, I don't think you've not had a chance to even look through it either, have you?
No, it's been an insane week, but I definitely will be going in there and creating my playlist for it because I'll remind you,
Mhm.
I'm going to be offline that entire first day, so I need to be ready to go
Yeah,
to sit
yeah,
down and
we're
listen to all of those sessions at like 2x speed and catch up on all the articles to see what was said so that we can do a recap show.
right, which actually brings up a good topic. We are going to be recording that Wednesday during next, so I would say expect to have our next session episode coming out probably either late Wednesday or early Thursday for that,
Give or
and
take, yeah.
then yeah,
Our
something like
next
that.
episode will be the next coverage of Next.
Well, no,
No, the next next episode.
yes, 2 episodes from now,
Yes.
because the
Two
next episode
episodes
is a
from
normal
now
one.
will be the next coverage episode.
Right. All right. Enough of this
Confuse
next.
everybody.
Yeah. And then, let's see, what else do we have here too? Oh, kind of going out of order, but I did start to receive the invitations for the local events happening around the US for next. So if you are interested in attending something in person, there is a list of certain cities and partners and that are having people on site. So for me, I received an email from Onyx. Onyx is one of Google partners, and they have a session here in Chicago, October 11th from 10:30 to 5:30. It's over in the Fulton Market area at the Carter Chicago. So for those of you in Chicago, check that out. If you need some details, let me know. I have the details here. And if you're looking for meetups in other cities, I think we posted it before in one of our previous episodes, but we can pull that link up again and share it with you in case you missed that episode. We'll put it in the notes here as well. And then 2 more things. Oh yeah, this is actually the second one here is pretty cool. I saw that you actually jumped in and purchased one. But first, before we get to that, is that Google is finally making its to-do list and reminder tools work together. Still a few things that are a little separate, but this was a good article. Actually, this came up in my morning news feed. That thing like with the Google Home automation says, it says "Good morning, Steve," and TechCrunch article talked about this to me in the morning. This was the first article that played on my TechCrunch audio feed. So I heard about this a little while ago, earlier the week when it came out. And then next, not next,
Yeah.
but our next topic here, Google and Framework, the Framework team team up to create the Framework Chromebook. So for those of you that are not familiar with Framework is kind of an up and coming laptop, I think maybe even PC manufacturer that
Yep.
creates modular and is it a modular and like long life
Modular
customizable
and very
laptops,
easily
upgradable? Yeah,
repairable. Very repairable.
exactly. Yes,
That's their MO.
right. Yeah. So now they have. It's funny. A colleague of mine was saying, "Oh, I'm gonna go get this laptop and put Chrome OS on it." I'm like, well, here it is. You don't have to do that. They're doing it
Exactly.
for you. So,
I'm so excited.
yep. And yeah, so you can get your pre-orders in now. What is the cost on these things? So there's two different.
$1,000.
That's it.
$1,000.
Wow.
And that
And the
includes
specs on
choosing 4
that.
of your own modules. It's an i5. i5 8
i5. Yeah, I'm
gig,
looking at this.
i5 8 or
1240p.
16 gig, yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, 4.4 gigahertz, 4
Great
plus 8
screen.
cores, 8 gig of memory, Wi-Fi 6E. Yeah, expansion card, right? So you can choose a whole bunch of things here, right? You got
Yep.
storage expansion. Wow, okay. Yep. You
Very
can't
excited.
upgrade the RAM though, it looks like, huh?
No.
That's unfortunate.
Well, those things are harder and harder to. Well, no, I feel like they should be able to. Yeah, maybe in the next version.
Yeah, there's storage cards, but you can't do memory. Huh. Oh well, that's pretty cool though. I'm definitely interested in trying one of those out. But you're gonna get one. If you don't like it, send it over to me.
Okay, I'll sell it to you. You got it.
Okay, good.
And then
And yeah, that's it.
that's it for the
Topics.
rundown here.
Mm-hmm.
Special thanks to our friends over at Jamf for helping us bring you these updates every week. If you're supporting Apple devices alongside Google Workspace, you definitely need to take a look at Jamf. Jamf's tools help manage and secure your Apple devices and integrate them seamlessly into the Google IT ecosystem. You can deploy Chrome, connect Google Identity to macOS, bring Zero Trust to life with context-aware access, and much more with Jamf and Google. Whether you have 10 or 10,000 devices in your organization, Jamf can help deliver an incredible Google experience for your end users on Apple. Visit jamf.com/workspace recap to start your free trial today. That's jamf.com/workspace recap. Back to you, Steve.
Oh yeah, back to me. All right, well, let's get through those two massive, interesting, amazing updates. Sorry, just got a little itchy eye here. Yeah, the first one, introducing new spacing feature on Google Sites, and really just a little additional functionality to add some more flexibility when you're designing a vertical layout and making things a little bit easier to arrange things. So if you want to use this, you've got a new option there called Spacer, or on Spacer link, and you can insert that into your panel or into your site from the side panel, and start spacing away. So,
Nice.
yeah, the rollout of this one is going to be split between rep release and schedule release domains. Rapid release is going to see that started already the 19th of September on a gradual rollout up to 15 days for visibility. And then for scheduled release domains, it will be on a full rollout with 1 to 3 days for feature visibility starting on the 3rd of October. And availability here, it's going to be available to everyone, just across the board. Anyone that has access to sites, you got it. So that's that. And then last and definitely least for this week, on the updates anyways, is that the updated AppScript Integrated Development Environment, IDE, more commonly known as IDE, will replace the legacy experience by Q4 2022. So this was following up on an announcement that Google made back in 2020 in December, and that there was a better IDE coming out. So this is letting us know that this is going to be going away. New one's going to be coming in. This is by the end of Q3 2022. Google will begin turning down the legacy experience, and then in Q4, the new IDE will become the default experience with no option to revert. So get used to the new one. Hopefully it is still going to work just as well. I'm sure it, for those using it, I think it's going to be a welcome improvement. I remember a lot of stuff in there looked a little bit old and clunky, so hopefully this will be a little bit better, more googly. And available to everyone, rolling out, as we said, beginning of Q4. So that's a quick one on the quick updates for this episode then. That's it.
Right.
I went through the Alpha Bundle stuff already. I mentioned that. Just a reminder again, check your emails, take action by the 28th or 29th. And yeah, Jesse, let's talk about next.
All right. As we said before, the next session catalog is live. So I mentioned earlier that I'm going to be going through and creating a playlist for myself of all of the Google Workspace and Workspace adjacent related sessions. There is a helpful breakdown here that you can choose to look at everything under the Collaborate heading. That's likely to include pretty much everything that has to do with Google Workspace or connect to Google Workspace in some way. Obviously, some of these are a little bit more salesy than others, how to modernize your frontline workforce with Google Workspace, for example, probably is going to be one of those, and learn more about frontline and what's coming and what's next in productivity and hybrid work. That sounds like one that is usually where they unleash a whole bunch of features. So definitely going to want to add that one to my playlist. But just like last year, you go through and you pick out and add all of these to your playlist so that you can watch them as they become available. I'm curious to see how they're going to be doing it this year in regards to some of them being available, right away, and some of them being available as time goes forward, and also the fact that they're still going to have some people in person there at Google, but also with these. I'm curious if they're going to be connecting these in-person events at all for the watch parties and tuning people in from all over the world, that kind of a thing. That would be really interesting. So definitely going to be keeping an eye on that. Although, like I said, I'm going to be playing serious catch-up on day one because I'll be totally offline. So don't announce too many things on day one without me. All right, the next one here is Google is finally doing what they should have done a long time ago. They are combining reminders with tasks. So now, going forward, Tasks is being thought of as a hub for all of your tasks across all Google products. So whether you're hitting the button in Gmail that adds the thread to your to-do list, or creating a reminder in Google Calendar, they're going to show up in tasks. Also, if you say the magic Google activation word, which I won't say to save all of your home devices, and tell it to remind you to do something, it will also show up in tasks, which is fantastic. And had I been using tasks a little bit more, I might think about converting from using my phone with Siri to remind me for these things, because that's literally all Siri is good for, and switch over to doing it on Google. But at the moment, my iPhone is the only thing I reliably have with me at all times, and it pops up those tasks really well. So I think I'm going to stick to that. And one of these days, maybe Siri will get a little bit better, and maybe in a far distant alternative reality, I'll release an API that would allow us to decide where certain things get sent to, but I digress. And anyway, if you're a user of reminders and tasks, you are going to be very happy with this update, and this looks like the very nice next step in the tasks, I guess, journey as they continue to bring it all together. And if anybody at Google on the tasks team is listening, can we please have an independent screen for tasks instead of just having it in the sidebar of everything else in Workspace? I would like a little bit more real estate to play with. Please and thank you. All right, the next update is, as Steve said, Framework, a company that basically said, wow, repairing laptops is terrible. Let's go and fix that. And they did. Created a very popular Windows laptop about a year or two ago. I think it was about a year ago, for being able to modularly swap in and out different ports, whether it's USB-C, USB-A, HDMI, DisplayPort even, and announced this week they worked together with Google and Intel, and they made the Framework Chromebook, and it's actually branded Chromebook. It's worked in cooperation with Google to build, and I am super excited for this thing, because not only does it have the ability to choose the options of the different modular parts that you want on it, they're easily accessible, and you can pop them off on the fly. Now, granted, I was looking into this. It's not easy to pop them off, so it's not like just a real, slot it in, slot it out, and somebody you give it to in the field is going to be able to knock it off by accident. They are attached quite well to the device, but I don't necessarily have to carry a big dongle with me anymore, because I can just carry a couple of these smaller modular parts, and there's a whole community behind them as well, and hopefully they'll be developing stuff for the Chrome version, which seems to be able to support everything that the Windows one does, but we'll see. But the fact of the matter is, if I've got USB-C, two USB-C ports and a HDMI port and a storage port, yes, that is one of the ones that you can put on there, is some add-on storage, and I decide, oh shoot, I need an Ethernet port all of a sudden, I could just swap out one of the USB-Cs for the Ethernet port, and it'll just work. And so super cool about that. Other things to note about this is that you can literally unplug and replace pretty much everything except for the processor and the RAM, it seems. But we'll look more into that. I did order one, so I'm going to be able to do a review video for all of you I think that for IT departments, for businesses, especially at mid-sized companies, this is going to be, if it works well and it really holds up, a godsend. Because honestly, you get people come in, oh, I poured water on my keyboard, I broke it, I broke my trackpad, this and that. You can literally just take it apart, 4 screws, pop these things out, put in a new one, put it back together, send them on their way instead of having to trash the whole thing, get them another $1,000 Chromebook.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the reliability of these swap out parts is going to be critical to how well it, can be adopted in business, and with especially people traveling and moving equipment around all the time. I know I've had a few in the past, laptops that they're just not made to be in a bag and traveling around with people. They just fall apart essentially. So,
yep,
I think that's where the key focus point would be on something like this, to see how well it can hold up to those kind of conditions, and that works well. Be good.
Absolutely. Well, framework, one of the questions that a lot of people were asking about the Windows model is, will they still be around in a couple of years to continue providing new parts or updates or things like that? And so they did go out and get something like a $50 million round of funding, and I imagine that's not going to be their last round of funding. Also, you should know that because this is in cooperation with Google, you get your usual... I'm blanking on the term. What's it called? The 8 years that they support it for. The TAU,
AUP?
AUP, thank you. Totally messed up that acronym. 2030, people. That's when this thing is going to work, until it's going to be supported by Google for a minimum of 8 years, so that would be 2030. Pre-orders began this week. Like I said, I already ordered one, and the starting price is $1,000. I think at the end of the day, I chose USB-C, USB-A, HDMI, and Ethernet as the different dongles to put on there, and not necessarily dongles, but modules to put on there. And it came to just about $1,100, I think. But it's got a monster 12th gen i5 1240p processor, which, by the way, remember we posted an article that said the i3 12th gen processors are running circles around the previous 11th gen i5s. So imagine what an i5 is going to do in this thing. Should be a real solid amount of power, hopefully. The tests on this are pretty good.
12th gen, then you're saying?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so probably
it's
powerful.
It's AUP, but also AUE. So the acronym is AUE. It's the auto update policy, which that is AUP.
Right.
But the short 3-letter acronym is AUE, auto update expiration.
There you go. That's the one I was looking for.
So, yeah.
Anyway, this thing is super duper cool, and I love what they're doing from a super tech geek perspective, as well as from an IT perspective, and as a super Chromebook fan. The display is a 2256 by 1504 3.2 display. The whole laptop weighs 2.87 pounds, or 1.3 kilograms for the non-Americans in the audience. Privacy switch separate for the camera and the microphone. Like they thought of pretty much everything here. So very excited to get some hands on here and have to do a whole video. And I think I mentioned this last week. I'm actually getting a whole bunch of Chromebooks in the studio over here.
I don't know if you told everyone
I told
else,
you. I don't remember if I'd said it on the show, but I'm going to be doing a total business Chromebook epic level showdown here. I ordered basically all the good ones from Asus, all the good ones from Acer, the HP. I'm trying to remember which other ones I got in there, and I'm going to unbox them all and put them through their paces and see which ones are good for which kind of different scenarios, what's important to you, because a lot of the articles that I see out there, they're like, this is the best one for the most expensive model, and this is the best one for the least expensive model. It's like, okay, well, I could choose from 3 different $800 Chromebooks. Tell me which one is, which of these is has different features that are better. This one has a better screen, but this one has a better trackpad. Like, that's what I'm going for here. So that's the goal on that. And then, that's it. We did the Nest bit. We did the Nest in-person events. And that was a quick show. So again, thanks to Jamf. Definitely go and check them out. Please, it'll help us, because if you sign up with them for a free trial, then they're going to continue giving us sponsorships, which enables us to continue making better, awesome stuff. So, yeah. Anyway, that's all for this week. Send us your questions and comments on Twitter at Workspace Recap and on our website, workspacerecap.com. Hit the subscribe button and leave us a review wherever you are listening. and give us a thumbs up and drop your comments down below. Let us know what you thought about the intro and anything else that we talked about in this episode. Have a great week, and we'll see you next time on Google Workspace Recap.